Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Boss Trends. Here are 7 of the funniest bar rescue episodes. Yo ho ho and a bottle of dumb, Pirate's Tavern. This is one of the best episodes to date in some people's opinion because it involves a pirate-themed bar. Approaching this one must have been comical for John, as the people that worked there took it seriously. From their uniforms to their mannerisms, they were into it, 100%. The whole idea obviously wasn't doing well, hence the reason Mr. Taffer was there in the first place. He tried to turn it into a more modern bro bar named Corporate, but in the end that didn't go over too well with the staff and the owners. In fact, one of the staff members ended up quitting because he couldn't talk like a pirate. And the owners eventually reverted back to the pirate-themed bar. It closed for good a short time later.
In all my years as a bar consultant, I've come up against people who challenge my ideas, but Pirate's Tavern is the only one who...
Number 6, Bro Bars and Bacon, Underground Wonder Bar. The Jazz Bar had been in business for over 20 years in Chicago, so some would say it has a pretty good track record, but once it moved to a different neighborhood, everything changed. The owner was a hippie that was known for her unique piano jazz, complete with a squealing chorus 4 nights a week. She was also vegan, so it was confusing when bacon was introduced in the new menu. It reopened as a craft cocktail joint that blended in with the masses, and the owner wasn't happy. She eventually asked John if he dyes his hair while coloring on a placemat like a child, and she later used sign language to say some adult-rated words about John to her child.
Words can ever convey. And I respect my son enough to say, okay, we're ready.
Number 5, the one with Taffer's wife, Sandbar. Once a famous Vegas blues bar, the Sandbar was an establishment that had fans such as Etta James before closing in the 1970s. Thanks to their passionate OBGYN, this bar got a second chance. Unfortunately, it wasn't doing well, and that's where John came in. He transformed the bar into a place where patrons could get beer-inspired cocktails and named it after the New Mexico zip code. This all seemed fairly normal until the bar owner started being creepy to John's wife. He compared her arm to another more private part of her body. John got wind of it and flipped out on the OBGYN. There's a time and place, but it's definitely not at a bar.
With the clock winding down, and having been rescued by John once already, second base is in need of a pinch hitter.
Number 4, Flying Ants and a Giggly Owner, Tonic Lounge. Tonic Lounge was a typical dive bar, but with horrible punk rock music that was often live. The first time John stepped through the door, he was met with an empty room and flying ants. John decided a better sound system, a new name, and a new menu would do the trick, but he couldn't get past the odd owner. The owner kept giggling as if he was high on a substance, and John was having none of it. By the looks of it, he could have given Gordon Ramsay a run for his money.
So they're foraging. They're just trying to invade the bar. So we gotta go ahead and treat the exterior,
Okay.
and then treat the interior.
No issues selling food?
Number 3, Bromancing the Stone. In the Coconut Grove area of Miami, beloved Sandbar becomes obsolete as yuppie millennials and affluent baby boomers take over the area. A beach-themed shithole with ripped seats, plastic cup cocktails, and years worth of spilled Red Bull on the floor. It's best known for serving fish tacos and huge burritos that nobody remembers eating. So it only makes sense that Taffer would turn it into a sophisticated Asian fusion place that served raw meat to be cooked on a hot rock. He rechristens it the Hot Rock because of this, and also installs TVs above every table that show lava, which is also hot rocks. Taffer and his crew use the word sophisticated more times than they say the F word in Scarface. They also get sophisticated by using frozen juice spheres instead of ice cubes. Someday this will be yours, one of the owners says to his baby. You can see the kid cringe if you look close enough.
You couldn't write it down and bring it over there. With the 9 customers they have in a room is absurd.
Number 2, Ants with Wings, Bro. Portland's Sonic Lounge is a dingy throwback bar in a little Hobbit-looking building that hosts generally terrible punk and hardcore shows. When Taffer shows up, he's greeted by an empty room as perhaps the worst punk band of all time plays. There are also flying ants everywhere. Taffer's solution? Get a better booker, improve the sound system, and change the name to Panic Room, with a gigantic sign clashing beautifully with a neighboring porn shop. He also switches the menu offerings to something that resembles a futuristic prison mess hall, where food served on metal trays. Throughout, Taffer straight up laces into the giggly, apparently stoned owner constantly. It's as if Taffer watched an episode of Kitchen Nightmares, declared Ramsay a wuss, and then took it out on a guy who spends the episode giggling to himself, nervously like a grown-up Beavis in a goofy hat.
There are bugs everywhere. I seen bugs or 2 in kitchens, brother. You got bugs underneath. You got colonies of bugs
Number 1, Raccoons in a Tacky Smoking Jacket, KC's Bar. Originally a private smokers club above a bingo hall and a VFW, the first task of business was getting the pesky rodents and critters out of the ceiling. Since there was no way around the smoky room, John took it upon himself to go with that vibe and stamped the speakeasy theme on it instead.
Yes, she did. Look at them, they're in shock.
And they're members. They paid for the right to be in this room.
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them.